Last time out, we made a couple tweaks to the slider set, and finally we were able to see Bo Harold actually look like a competent quarterback. We completed some good passes, though we were not a high-scoring team. We would end up winning 13-7 against the Seahawks, with both teams scoring their only touchdowns in the second quarter. And as we kick off this episode, again, we're going to just take a short little look at the stats from the last game. We finished with about 300 yards on total on offense, with a little bit under 200 of those being passing. Now, Bo Harold did not have a fantastic game. He had a solid game, completing 52% of his throws, 18 of 34, for a little under 200 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. So we're going to stick with the current slider adjustment, which we moved up last go around to 55, and it seemed like it worked. So we're going to give it another go today and see if we continue to see some good play and kind of go forward from there. Now, we had a breakout opportunity last episode, and we didn't get it, but we did, and that was with Ethan Graham. He needed 1 interception, or forced fumble, tackle for loss, or sack, which he got, but the game didn't give him the boost. So we're going to do that ourselves. Now, the reason for this could be very similar to what one of the commenters mentioned during the offseason when we saw some of our players regress from immediately getting their dev boost, talking about Adebo and Bonito. I'm assuming it's probably the same thing, that we just are capped out on development due to the settings, but we're going to go ahead and boost it anyway because he earned it. We got the 1 pick. It's a highlight. It's going to be on these shorts, so yeah, don't know what happened there, but most likely I'm assuming it's because of that setting. But we're going to give Graham his star dev that he earned. But on top of that, we have another opportunity for a breakout, and this is for a defensive lineman. And honestly, I'm not sure who it's going to be. And it's for Johnny Smith. He got the sack on the last play of the game last episode, and it was the only sack we got. Now, he started this series as a hidden dev, or not the series, but when we drafted him, we started as a hidden dev, and he was a star. He regressed after the first season, and he'll have an opportunity to get back to it. So we'll see if he and the rest of the team can get the job done, if we could replicate or even improve upon the game we had last episode against the Seahawks, today against the Saints. Now let's get this game underway, as the boot is through. Will be a touchback as Williams stalls at the goal line. So we'll go from here as Bo Harold heads out following one of his better performances with this team. Though having said that, it still was just barely over 50% completion, so it's not like we found the for sure thing, as he actually looks to scramble here. Credit as a sack, loss of 1. Foskey gets half of it. But we did at least see a step for him in the right direction. We also saw us get the running game slightly back involved, as Akers, with a nice cut there, will pick up a few yards. He did get a little bit beaten up late on in last week's game, but overall he was fine. But we did see some good finishing plays. We're going to go Tommy Tremble, and the first throw is not accurate. Misses Tommy Tremble, and we will have to punt. And if I'm being honest, that bad throw made me completely forget about what we were talking about. As Derek Carr heads out, 5 touchdowns on the season. All 5 have gone to our former receiver, as we do get a good stop at the line of scrimmage. But yes, all of their touchdowns have gone to our former receiver in Cooper Kupp. Already 5 through just 2 games, as Kamara finds space, picking up the first down, again 14. Again, we need to see Johnny Smith over on this right side of the defense, left side of the screen, get at least 1 tackle for loss or sack. He can force a fumble even. If he wants to pick off a ball, I'll take it as well. Though if we're to use last game as the judge, we only got 1 sack, and it was the very last play of the game. So the team not really flying around all too much as Olave squeezes the ball there. A short gain will bring up 3rd and medium. Though I am happy to report I could actually change players today, so that's going to be great. As it is that 3rd and 6, they send out the shotgun formation, going dumping off short, and Thomas gets upended but picks up the first. Though a quick correction, not Thomas. They have a new receiver, a Scott, who is just wearing Thomas's number, so they replaced him rather quickly as we go Olave. We've struggled a little bit this season. Adebo has had a couple plays given up where it's that back shoulder throw. Outside of those plays, he's done pretty well. Already has an interception on the season. Would like more. As they're going with a toss to the outside, Kamara met and stopped Adebo. So while he gave up the catch, he at least keeps the touchdown from happening. As they'll stick with the heavier set once again on 2nd and goal. They're back at the 6, look for a run down the middle. A good cut, finds the gap, and a late hit there for sure by Adebo, but a touchdown puts them in front. So the Saints end up capitalizing off the essentially poor throw by Bo Harold, leaving us down 7. So as we head out for our second possession, we start at the 25. Need to remember we need to keep these passes short, quick, as we're going to go with Palmer on the drag. Getting to the outside, stiff arm does not break away, but a first down gain. We really need to try and work up to some of these deep throws. Harold's accuracy drops off in the deep, though is solid from medium, good from short. Bad angle there from Akers. Should have stuck more to the outside. Might have got some more yards, but at least we pick up something. And we'll also try to work on rotating Akers a little bit more. Again, getting beat up early on in the season is definitely not going to help us out with the long haul. As Gibson checks in, setting up the screen, and a great stop from Williams. Felt like that was going to be a gimme of a first, but no. 3rd and 4 as we stick with the spread look. I like Marshall's zig route here. Though we won't stare him down, but it does look good. We'll get it out to him. He gets his first catch with us and the first down to the 43. He had to check in, I want to say it was last week, for Ed Jarrett. And he almost got the touchdown, though the pass a little bit too far downfield. As we'll check down here, finding Tommy Tremble this time. And now on 2nd and 5, we face the double A gap, though we're going to run at it. Try to find a little bit of a lane. Akers not going to break away. A nice tackle from 37 keeps it 3rd and inches. You can credit that stop to Wingard, as we're going to come out with the strong eye. We're going to hand this one off down the middle. DeGuara picking up the first down and a few bit more. Though time is expiring here and will reach the end of the first quarter. Not a great quarter for us. We did at least better so far in this second drive, knock on wood, as we look to finish it. And as we begin the second quarter, we'll be at the 29. 1st and 10, hard count, no one jumps. Try to go with a little bit of some play action. Streaking across the field, we have Palmer with a catch around the 5, turning up, and a touchdown pass to start off the second quarter. Already matching what we had last week. A good throw, and Palmer gets it in the end zone. Now we just need to do a little bit of a better job containing this Saints offense. They definitely have some really good guys out there, as Kamara down the middle will not get by the rookie Solomon, as now Ryan Ramczyk a little bit slow to get up. It looks like something wrong with that shoulder, maybe even elbow. He'll get it checked at the sideline. In the meantime, it would be a great time to try to get some tackles for a loss or some sacks as they go with a run. Kamara, wide open spaces, picking up another first, breaking some tackles, diving. We miss. Graham in pursuit is not going to catch up to Kamara, and we do not do a great job of containing him, as he will once again put the Saints up. And we're going to need this offense to keep up. Luckily, though, we are going 5 out of 5 for Bo Harold on the previous drive. We start off with a throw here. Got some guys going across. Looks like Harold just going to tuck and run, get what we can. Pushed out of bounds after a gain of 8. He's not really known for running, though he has some mobility. As we'll bring up a 2nd and 2. Look for a run to the left-hand side. Akers not going to break through the tackles like what we just saw from Kamara. Though still a solid run. Gets us the first down past the 40. As we'll go back to some play action. Gonna roll down to the bottom, coming across Jarrett. Not enough time to get that ball away cleanly. And we need some down the field threats because they're clearly stacking the box. Let's at least try to get to the outside. Akers speeding to the outside, will almost get to the first down marker. 3rd and 1. And they will stack the left side of the line. So let's go with a weak dive then, as some jumbled around mess there. I think it was actually DeGuara bumping into Harold, but no problem. Gibson picks up 9 and the first. Offense running smoothly for now, knock on wood. As again, gonna go back to that play action. A lot of play action with this team. Tommy Tremble has some space, picks up a block from Palmer, turning down the sideline out at about the 9. Well, that first throw definitely wasn't good, but since then, Harold has done pretty well. As we'll stick with, again, some more play action. Gonna send Charles in motion to the right-hand side. Gonna see if we could get Parkinson to the corner. It's placed well, but he doesn't hold on to it. 22 comes back, Barden, and knocks it free. Well, once again, we did see some pretty good placement there from Bo Harold. As we're going to make some adjustments here at the line. Send DeGuara to the left-hand side. Even this thing out a little bit. Now it's fine going back to the... Okay, or we're going to stick to the left. I wanted to go to the right, but hey, it works here. We pick up some yards down to the 5 for 3rd and goal. And we'll head out from shotgun. Going to have a split backfield. DeGuara, the fullback, on the left-hand side. I like to shorten Jarrett's route a little bit here, or mess up the entire play. All right, well, let's rock with it. See if we could find some opening here. Gonna have to roll, avoid the pass rush. Stepping up, throwing out of the sack. Tried to get it to Jarrett, but just not enough time. That's where the mobility of Bo Harold kind of restricted us there, but we'll send out the field goal unit here. Try to at least get some more points on the board. Make it 14-10. Now is just a time where we actually need this defense to get a stop here for us, and the defensive line needs to show up. Especially with Kamara. I feel like I always switch that around as they go to him here on the outside. Quick rally gets the stop. But yeah, definitely need the defensive line to step up here, especially in the running game. Got to stop the between the tackles running from Kamara. Get him to the outside. At least there, he should play well. He's not much of an in between the tackles guy, but he's getting the job done so far. It also would be great if we could get a stop here on 3rd and 6. Double A gap look. Let's send the pressure right down the middle. They get it out. Scott, who gets the first down. Just by about a yard extras. They're going to make a check at the line here. Sending 3 off to the left-hand side, 1 to the right. This also shakes up our defense. So we have Curse sent late. They pick up that one, but Bonito. And we also see Smith come in there at the end. Going to split the sack between the two. So that leaves us half a sack out of getting another boost as they swing it out wide, going to the tight end, who will pick up a few. Well, that'll leave them with 3rd and 14. Now, we struggled on 3rd and long. If we could clean that up here, it would be really nice, as that will be after the 2-minute warning. And they'll be attacking it from that 3 spread. Also have one off to the right is Scott. Have some corner routes, some guys sitting underneath, and that one is thrown out of bounds. You could ask for an intentional grounding there, but none given. 4th and 14, we force the punt. And as we head out, 1:48 on the clock, all 3 timeouts, as we'll start trying to set up that halfback screen once again. Get it out quickly. Not really going to allow much blockers to set up, but we pick up some yards and scamper out. And by scamper, I really mean get kind of tossed out by Wingard. We do have a 1v1 Palmer on this left-hand side. Could maybe find a back shoulder throw, though it would also help if Palmer knew the ball was coming, then we might have had something. But we at least only need a millimeter here for the first down, as we're going to go back to DeGuara, trying to find some space. Powers through this time for the first down, as let's get back to the ball, get back to the line quickly here. Trying to go with a little bit of some play action roll. We could dump it off to DeGuara or Tommy Tremble coming across. Nicely placed ball and out of bounds. Honestly, that one could have went to either Tremble or Palmer. They both are kind of standing in the same spot, as it's 1st and 10. A little bit more play action. As we have our guy coming across, that one led too far to the outside. Palmer was wide open. Though I do have to say, I'm still liking the slider set right now. We're getting some accurate throws. We're still getting some inaccurate throws as they read the screen the whole way. Let's step up, avoid losing a little bit more yards, and we have a 3rd and 18. Now it is these spots where we haven't done great. Again, needing that deep. At best, we could go with a medium throw. Gonna need some run after the catch. All depends on what we end up getting. Actually, let's go deep here. Jared is overthrown. He had the step on Lattimore. But the safe thing to do here will be punt it away. Try to at least pin him back inside the 5. and it's at least a good start here. The ball will land at the 5, bouncing way back, and it's essentially a better return for them than if they called a fair catch. I will say the punts are not fantastic in Madden. That bounce back is just insane. As it's 1st and 10 here for the Saints. Once again, they lock up Bonito, and they do find Olave. I like Graham, but probably shouldn't have him man v man versus one of the better of the young receivers. As there's some pressure and a knockaway as they try to find Cooper Kupp. The rookie and Josh Conley sitting there well in man coverage. Again, he was a draftee who we didn't really expect to go after. He was sitting there, it was BPA, and he ended up having some really good talent, though takes a bad angle there as Kamara. I've heard it both ways. Gets him down to about midfield. With 30 seconds left and 1 timeout in their pocket, a sack here could be fantastic. As we're going to send the double A-gap blitz, and right down the middle, Murray, untouched, gets the loss of 8. And that'll leave them with no timeouts after they did call their last one. 22 seconds left. Just need some sure tackles, inbounds, or a swap right at the point of the throw. Bonito with an athletic play. Though once again, we have the mismatch of Graham on Olave. As they will go with the pass. Graham at least a fast guy, and they're going to check it down out of bounds. Once again, that arguably should be intentional grounding. Though Madden does not like to call those intentional groundings, even when it seems pretty clear, but we'll head into half with a close game here. 14-10, did a whole lot better in the second quarter offensively. Defense has been fairly solid throughout. They cleaned things up for sure in that second quarter. Now as we look around the league, we'll start with a big matchup for our division, and right now the Seahawks are up at halftime, 17-14 versus the 49ers. Both of them are 1-1. We're 1-1. If the 49ers lose, we win. We will become first in the division. So a lot kind of riding this week for early on supremacy. But talk about supremacy, the Raiders up 24-0 against the Broncos. Broncos quarterback 0 of 6 and an interception, so not very good. As we look to the last game, the Cardinals taking on the Bears. It's another big win for the Cards, 38-10. They had a really good season last year, trying to get back to it now with their first win. But as we get tuned back in here, boot is through, and it will be potentially a touchback. Holloway does take the knee. Saints will start at the 25. It took the defense a couple of possessions to find their groove, but we cleaned things up, and we really haven't allowed Cooper Kupp to do really all too much, as there's a good stop. Nick Bell right down the middle. But we're going to need to see a whole lot more of those, as Kamara still is averaging over 10 yards a carry. Almost 11. As it's 2nd and 9, they go back to him. Wow. Every time it looks like the defense just fills the gap well, they're sitting there. Kamara just bounces it, finds some space. Luckily, we at least have some pretty decent speed on this team, so we collapse quickly, bringing up a 3rd and 4, of which they will pass from it, and Graham knocks it away, intended for Cooper Kupp. Again, the only man with a receiving touchdown for them. We're not allowing to get going. So this is a prime opportunity to grab a lead here early on in the second half as we start with a run. Akers trying to bounce, but kind of gets stuck on his lineman, just picking up 1. We'll say the Saints have also done pretty well in stopping the run. We found a little bit more success through the air today as we look to go there on the 2nd down. Rolling, can we get something? That's not exactly what I was looking for, but we tried it. It didn't work. So on 3rd and 9, let's shake things up a little bit here. Got 2 receivers off to the left. I like Nakua's route if we have time for it. That'll be the primary read here for us, and there's no time. Let up by Smith off that right-hand side. Morrison with the sack, and the opportunity is gone, just like that. And once again, we're seeing a game turn into a defensive battle as the Saints retake the field here, starting at the 30. Will be a pass, play 1 going to the outside, lofted as Kupp does bring in, I believe it's his first catch, maybe second. Though as we check the stat sheet, it is his first catch, gain of 5. Leaving 2nd and 5, in which they go back to the run, and Kamara not going to get by Kobe Turner. He has performed very admirably during the time of which Luke Peak has been injured. But it's 3rd and 5, another chance to get off the field as the throw takes Scott back behind the line to gain, and we will get that stop, 4th and 2, unless they decide to go for it. But they do not decide to go for it and will actually punt the ball away. And we'll start actually in good field position at the 41 and go with some play action once again. We have a step if we can find Palmer. Great play by Lattimore. Harold just 8 of 17, so we're not seeing a dramatic rise in terms of the completion percentage. We're just seeing some better, more realistic throws while still missing some pretty badly. So all in all, I am liking what we're seeing with a 55 QB accuracy, as we do have a 3rd and 5. Palmer on the quick slant, Trimble on more of like an inside zig. There's probably a better term for it. I'm just not aware of what it is, as we're having to roll around, try to buy some time. Coming back across the middle, Nakua with a heck of a grab. Had to come sprinting back over to the middle and sliding down with that possession grab right in front of a couple different guys. Love it. Ed Jarrett here towards that front pylon also looks pretty good as the safety steps down, though we're going to go instead underneath Tommy Trimble. He gets the toe tap and almost the first down, about a yard shy, leaving 2nd and 1. Single high safety. We'll see where he steps. Nakua, if he gets the inside and the safety steps down, that could be nice, but he sits just over the top. We'll check down instead, going to go with Akers, and he drops it. It looked like we had the step, but great play from their linebacker, 3rd and 1. Gibson checks in down the middle, 4th and inches. So this is a spot I definitely feel like we go for it. We just need to make sure we get a good double team over on Breesy, I believe it is. So let's line that up here. Hand it off down the middle, and very good blocking. Easy running for DeGuara down to the 15. Now with that fresh set of downs, we'll stick with a heavier set. Gonna go again back to that play action. Really good coverage, but across the middle we go. Palmer, but no, it's jumped at the goal line. It was tight coverage. Put it up there for our guy, but unfortunately it's the other team's guy that makes the play. You even saw Bo Harold try to put that one up a little bit higher, as a great stop there by Solomon. Turner also helps out. He at least saw something working there inside Bo Harold's head, just didn't come to fruition for us. Now 2nd and 9, we got to focus more on the defense, as we don't get much of a blitz, but a good stop from Curse. Now we're just one play from getting the ball back, as it's 3rd and 9. They come out with that 3 receiver set. Going up and off the hands of Scott. Should have been a big play. A little bit of luck comes back our way, and we'll force the punt. And as we head out for this next drive, let's try to shake up the offense a little bit. We're going to try to primarily focus on running the ball, finding these lanes, and letting some clock roll. As we're just about out of time here in the first quarter, let's try to set up a screen back the other way. Palmer not going to speed away. Some slow acceleration there will leave a 3rd and 6 to start the 4th quarter. We need to get the first down, let some time roll here, and try to grab that lead. Though to do that, we need 7 yards here and eventually 7 points, as we'll stick with a tight single back set. Some quick throws underneath, finding Palmer with a nice turn. Bo Harold really put the mustard on that one, but we convert, and we'll let that clock start to roll a little bit. Going with some play action. Let's dump this one off Parkinson's. We'll get the grab, trying to fight through the defender. Wingard, pretty sure tackler today. Though it would be great for Akers to break one of his tackles for a touchdown run, maybe right here even. I would take it, but we're not going to get to that level, just a short gain. And once again, we have a 3rd down. This time 3rd and 4 as we stick with that same look. Gonna go with a little bit of some play action, make sure we have some blocks. Try to dump this one off. We have Parkinson in front, which just picks up a clutch block there. And Tommy Tremble inches out the first down. Also a very well-composed throw there by Harold. Have the defender coming down at him. We'll get back to the running game here a little bit, trying to find something, and there's just really not much. They're clogging up the lanes. So perhaps we try to get the running backs involved in a slightly different way here, as we're under 5 minutes left in the game. Setting up the screen, we get it out for Gibson, trying to find some lanes, and once again the linebacker just slicing through the block like butter. Why we're starting to use these puns, I don't know, but if it works, it works. As Rayo, what kind of throw was that? Needed to get it to Tommy Tremble. We definitely did not. Now with a 4th and 4. You could take the field goal here, be down 1 point, and then you just need to stop in another field goal. Or you go for the first down. We have the zig from Nakua. We're also going to send Akers out. He's going to go on a quick in. Needing to convert here. We will apparently not go Akers. We went to Jarrett. Definitely thought I hit the button for Akers. It was almost a touchdown, but it was broken up on the goal line. And if I'm not mistaken, that is 2 possessions that have gotten into field goal range that we tried going for it that could, if we converted, actually put us in front now, as instead we might be going down 2 possessions. Graham in pursuit, dives, comes up empty. Rice sprinting down to the opposite 3 to get the stop. Absolute hustle as Swain took a bad angle. Could have and probably should have stopped that much earlier. We send everyone. And there is the sack and the development boost for Smith that we will for sure be giving him, because I know that's what it is, even if Madden doesn't give it to him. That makes his total today 1.5. He needed just the 1, so he for sure got it. As we send the blitz once again, they could have had a touchdown, but a bad throw there by Carr. And if there's ever been time for an Adebo pick, or honestly by anyone, right now is a good one, as they will be throwing it. Have some guys across the middle, and they squeeze it in. Touchdown makes it 2 possessions. Trent Cheeks. Oh, we're going to need a pretty crazy last 2:24 left of this game if we're to find a way back into it, or even just a closer game, a win. Not going to do too well if we can't complete the first pass, though. This is when we need Bo Harold to come up clutch here for us. 2:21 and counting. Trying to find somewhere to go. Everyone just covered up tightly. You can't even fit a piece of paper between the coverage. But we need to find a way to keep this drive going. We need 11 points here late, and they cover the halfback screen. We'll say the Saints defense has been phenomenal today. And as the 2-minute warning hits, it's a 4th and 19, of which we got to find something here to keep this game going. Making some checks here, a lot of hot routes. Have a couple guys going on some corners, some slants to match. As we have Jarrett, who somehow gets the grab. Don't ask me how Bo Harold got that over the safety. A little bit of luck for sure. As we're going to have to make another couple checks. They bring down the safety. Make sure we at least have some solid protection for a little while. That pass coming up short. And somehow Barden is just sitting there once again. He's come up clutch for the Saints late on and probably just won them the game. Oh, Harold just taking another shot there. It wasn't a very accurate throw, but it was at least in the catching vicinity of Nakua, who really didn't get going much today. And the guy who did was Alvin Kamara. Almost 200 rushing yards. He very much put on a beautiful performance. He was the Saints offense. Without him, they really didn't have much, as he does not get the first down there, but we're under or just about at 30 seconds left. So after they run it, they don't even have to run this play. They can let the clock hit 0. And that's exactly what they're going to do. The team performed very similarly, I will say, to last week, though we did not make the last couple big plays. No turnovers forced, at least as far as I can remember. We did get the sack, so we should at least be getting the development boost, though that game, a little bit disappointing. I felt like there were times where we definitely could have won that game, and maybe a couple different decisions on some 4th downs, and potentially we do. But let's see if Madden actually gave us this development boost, and yes, It did. So don't know exactly what happened last week then. Roll out the red carpet because Johnny Smith has arrived. Going to move up to a star dev, back to what he had after his, or during his rookie season, but getting a nice boost for XP really is going to help out. And we'll see just how much it helps out as we move on to face the Texans next go around. They have an 85 offense, 81 defense, and Will Anderson is up to an 88 superstar left end. So we're going to have another big test for this offensive line, who I did think also struggled a good bit today. We're going to take a quick peek at these stats from this last game, because I did move on from those pretty quickly. And with us now keeping a closer eye on what's happening with Bo Harold with that slight increase of the quarterback accuracy. Once again, he was sub 50% completion, tried 31 times, only completed 15. His long was 31. He had 2 interceptions, which some of them were bad throws, and 1 touchdown, though a little over 200 passing yards. Passer rating was at a 53.4, so not very good. As for the blocking, now I did skip out on, or forget to record the stats from the last game, so I'll do that as I go back to the film room, aka the editing room. Now in this one, it was from the middle that it seemingly we were struggling. Avila gave up 2 sacks, 1 by Dickinson, and I know for sure that there was a sack given up by Tyron Smith. So I will double check all the stats for the offensive line, and we'll talk a bit more about that going into the next game. Because again, I think they struggled a bit in this one. There were many times we had some open receivers that if we had a second more to throw, we could have found some big plays. So I do think that's part of Bo Harold's struggles, is the offensive line has not protected him all too well. But again, we'll test that, and we'll talk about those stats at the beginning of next episode. So do not miss out. Hit that bell icon on the bottom right or scroll down. Hit the actual subscription button so you subscribe to the channel. And definitely make sure you're tapping that bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. This series every single Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday with the state-only challenge. Currently, Central Plains in the playoffs. Don't miss out. That one every Wednesday and Saturday. So at least 6 videos every single week, plus all the shorts highlighting everything happening in these games. So a whole lot of content. And hopefully we're going to start to see some, at least somewhat of a positive arc for the quarterback play. And if we're not seeing anything good, we do have the national scout for the quarterbacks, and we have a trade sitting in our back pocket if we need to bring in a different quarterback. So all that to come. We'll see you guys next time versus the Texans. Bye.